It's Street Talk with Loretta Rose, and today we are on location at Russell County Courthouse, the Judicial Center building. Well, today is East Alabama Mental Health Center Prevention Services and the Prevention Coalition meeting. We have been invited to come in and be a part of this meeting to bring informative information for you in our community. I love it because this show today is going to bring awareness and it's going to save lives. Stay tuned. You don't want to miss this one. It's Street Talk with Loretta Rose on location in Phoenix City in Russell County, and you're watching here on Beam TV. And now we're inside of Russell County Courthouse, the Judicial Center, and we have caught up with Emmy Brooks, and she's going to share with you about what we're getting ready to take you inside of. Thank you so much for your time, and I want to say thank you for allowing us to come and be a part of your meeting. So share with the community what we're about to go into.
Thank you so much, Ms. Lara Rose, for coming over. Yes, we hold our monthly coalition meetings. It is a partnership between East Alabama Mental Health Prevention Services and the Prevention Coalition Against Opioid Addiction. We do our monthly meetings, and today is going to be a little bit special because we'll be awarding four recipients for our fentanyl test strips kits.
Wow, exciting. And share with the community a little bit more about the services you all provide because you bring an increased awareness to opioid addiction in our community.
Yes, so we basically do events and initiatives to help spread awareness to the community, the dangers of prescription drug misuse, opioid addiction. And one of those events that we constantly do every year, actually it's twice a year, is the prescription drug take back event.
Awesome. Well, we want to say thank you for allowing us to come and be a part. And now we're going to take you inside so you can see what's happening in Russell County in Phoenix City. It's Street Talk with Loretta Rose.
Today, this is going to be a little bit on the special side of our coalition meeting because we will be awarding, is it the right word? Okay, we'll be giving out some fentanyl strips to four of our recipients today. So we created this coalition back in 2000. It's been 4 years. Okay, so just minus 2023. Okay, it's been 4 years. We have done great things in the county. Thank you to all the coalition members and all the leaders in the county who have helped us um, with all the drug take back events that we have had. Recently, we had a drug take back and resource fair at Hurtsboro, um, and we collected. Can you help me out with the
three large black trash bags full of controlled substances, including the drop boxes we have in the courthouse and in judicial center. We have between 40 and 50 pounds that we collected with the two events that we've gotten out of people's cabinets, off the streets, and safely disposed of.
It's not a lot of prescriptions. Of course, it was already given that it's a small community, but hey, we were able to serve that underserved area, and that's what matters, right? We're keeping the community safe. So we want to cut this short, okay? We want to start giving out the fentanyl strips.
As of about a year and a half to 2 years ago, fentanyl became a huge problem nationwide and in the state of Alabama. Drug dealers were cutting their drugs with fentanyl, putting a small amount of fentanyl in otherwise in controlled substances. The reason they did it is because it's very addictive, and so you have people who smoke marijuana occasionally, who only buy once a month. You put a tiny bit of fentanyl in that marijuana, now they're like, "Ooh, I've got to have more. I've got to have more. I've got to have more." It makes meth highs higher, cocaine highs higher. The problem though is it's dangerous. Even a small amount of fentanyl, if you put just a little bit too much, can kill somebody. We have overdose after overdose after overdose. Almost every single one tested positive for fentanyl. Not only is it dangerous for the population who is doing drugs, it's also dangerous for law enforcement. Law enforcement comes in contact with drugs, somebody tries the officer put his hand on the door of the car, not knowing the guy had dumped fentanyl out the window, and he would have died if he hadn't realized what was going on and self-administered Narcan and called in. It's very dangerous for law enforcement officers who are out there trying to figure out what drugs they're coming across. Back in the day, you found a bag of meth, you knew it was meth or cocaine. You could recognize it. Now, you have to be super careful. They use tweezers to pick them up. They can't touch them. They can't open them. They can't see if there's anything else in them because they don't know if there's fentanyl in there that one touch could kill them. These strips here are a way for law enforcement to test those drugs either on the scene or back at the office to see if fentanyl is involved. It can help them charge criminals correctly and can help protect them. And it can, if given out, can help prevent overdose for people sometimes who are doing drugs who shouldn't be, but we don't want them to die. And so these fentanyl strips are being given to multiple different law enforcement and treatment agencies to try and help prevent deaths from officers and for people on the streets.
And on top of that, we also have special gloves that's for fentanyl use. We have more coming, so we only have a few in the boxes. We'll give it out maybe even in this week, you guys. So let's start off with. Okay, you want to call Miss Deanna Deanna Rosales-Bell from the Russell County Mental Drug Court. Health Court, sorry.
And drug court helps treat people who are on drugs.
We're hoping people don't bring their drugs, but
If they do, if somebody does bring drugs in, then I'll have a way to test and see if fentanyl's involved.
And I want to call on Captain Lassiter from Phoenix City Police Department, Criminal Investigation Department.
Look over there and smile.
And Deputy Howell from the Russell County Sheriff's Department. You have a friend with you. Want to introduce your friend to us?
This is Canine Charo. He's a narcotics contraband detection dog. Mainly his focus is for the jail. Get rid of the drug issues within the jail. They also alert on nicotine, vapes, cell phones, and things that aren't allowed in jail. So it kind of could be used in a high school setting as well under some circumstances. But you know, got a lot of voters on him, and that's how he differs from the other dogs on the road.
And the next would be the Alabama State Drug Task Force. They actually help us implementing prescription drug take-back events in Chambers County for the past, 8 years, 10 years.
We'll be giving this to them after. Oh, we have a representative. Thank you, everybody, for coming here, and I'm very glad we were able to help the community.
And of course, our meeting is always, we always end our meeting with great food. So thank you, Ms. Deanna, for the food, and you are welcome to grab your food. You guys have any questions or want to say something?
Just hold your flowers up so they can see them.
That was not part of the meeting. Yes. Sure. Yes.
Hello, everybody. My name is Tundra Tolbert, and I'm actually in Montgomery County. Our office is in Montgomery County. It's called Council on Substance Abuse. We're also a we're a prevention and a recovery agency. So we recently just received a federal grant where we work with veterans throughout 19 counties. And so one of the parts of our program is that we work with veterans in drug court. I cover 4 counties, the East Alabama, Chambers, the Macon, and Russell. And so I also attend drug court with Ms. Deanna and Mr. Leroy, working with their mentors to assist the veterans that have substance misuse disorder by providing recovery supportive services to those veterans. And I have to say those veterans, Mr. Leroy, has been phenomenal just seeing their growth over these past few months of them providing recovery supportive services. The program is called Hope for Heroes and Families. So we service only only strictly veterans. We partner with the VA. And we also work beyond the substance use as well, misuse as well. So if you have any veterans that you may come in contact with, we link them to resources, we provide, assist them with housing, pretty much a lot of the things that the VA do. We don't provide the services, but we provide the resources. And we also help the veteran to navigate those services. We don't just give them a card and say, hey, no, we as case managers, we have case managers implementing them in all of those counties. But we also provide transportation to those veterans. So if transportation is a barrier for them to get to the VA, we would drive them. If they need to go to the doctor, I would drive them. If they need to go to the grocery store, I would take them. And so we provide those services to those veterans. I just wanted to let you all know I do have an office now. My boss just recently got in Macon County, so I have a home base satellite office in Macon, so that I can kind of be closer up toward these counties. Definitely, I have some cards, and I also have some material as well that I can give to you all that you can contact me. And thanks for allowing me to come.
Thank you.
Yes.
So if everybody's ready to grab some food?
And now we have caught up with Harry Williams, who is a part of the Prevention Coalition. I want to say thank you for your time. And what is your community affiliation? Because you do a lot in the community as well.
I do a lot, yes. I am the founder of a nonprofit called AED Advocacy. Those are life-saving defibrillators we try to place in the community. And on top of that, I'm a volunteer with the drug prevention group here.
Awesome. So what do you think about the meeting that took place? This was so needed, and it has educated and informed not only myself, but the community.
I thought it was fantastic. It's what we needed. We had the DA was here. We had members from the Sheriff Department, and the Coalition Drug Task Force was here. We had people all the way from Macon County that was here today. And we had some officers here there. We were able to give out some fentanyl testing strips here today, and some gloves to protect our officers from when they come in contact with drugs and things like that, protect them. So this is a great event. And we learned a lot today. Even though we cover this every month, we still learn something today.
Amazing. And we're just so honored to be able to come in and capture this, because they have meetings monthly with bringing in an increased awareness to opioid addiction in our community. Now we're going to catch up with Assistant District Attorney Steve, and he's going to give us a little demonstration and help you to understand more about the fentanyl strips that were shared today. Stick around. We're going to catch more with what's happening here at Russell County Courthouse. And now we have caught up with Assistant District Attorney Stephen, and he is going to share with the community about the fentanyl strips that were shared today. And before you share, I want you to share more about how powerful fentanyl is, because I don't think the community really understand the impact of it.
So fentanyl is a drug that's cheap to make and very highly addictive, and even very small amounts is fatal. And some people take fentanyl straight by itself, but most often when we see it, it's mixed with other drugs. In the last 3 months, we've had over 10 overdoses in Russell County that involve fentanyl. And you never see just fentanyl. It's methamphetamine and fentanyl, or cocaine and fentanyl, and other things. And the dealers are taking drugs. You know, there may be somebody out there who's been taking cocaine for years, and they take just a little bit on the weekends, and they think they're a responsible drug user. I don't think there is anything as such as a responsible drug user, but that's what they think of themselves as. Well, then they get some cocaine, same amount they've normally been taking, but instead of just being cocaine, now it's got some fentanyl added to it. And even just that little bit above can cause heart attacks. And you can easily overdose on fentanyl, because way less of it than you think will cause you to overdose. So on the side of people who are taking drugs, it's causing overdose. On the side of officers who are investigating drugs and having to handle those drugs, they're having to be super careful, because even just touching it without gloves on, even sometimes with normal gloves, it can get into your skin, and it can cause you to pass out, and it can cause you to die. There are officers across this country who are dying from contact with fentanyl because it absorbs right through your skin.
Absorb right through your skin. Oh, wow. So you're going to give us a little demonstration of how the strip worked, which is such a blessing. I want to say thank you for sharing it with the community, because we have it right here in Russell County.
Mm-hmm.
And there were recipients that received them today.
So each of these little bags has a little strip in it. like this, like a little pregnancy test, something along those lines. There's actually two uses for these strips. Nationwide, some of these strips are being provided to organizations who are going out into the community of drug users and providing it to them. So they'll go to raves or they'll go to drug houses and they'll give it to them because as long as they're still alive, we can help them. But if they die, they're beyond our help. And so the drug users themselves can take it and test their own drugs. That's not what our focus is today. Our focus today is on helping law enforcement agencies to identify and protect themselves when doing it. And if the law enforcement agencies decide to help communities or give it to treatment providers and things like that, then they're perfectly able to do that. But these little strips can test a very small amount. And so you take take just a little bit of whatever drug you're testing. If it's in powder form, you pour it into a bottle cap. You stick the strip in the bottle cap and you wait just a little while and it'll come back and tell you if there's any fentanyl in there or not. Sometimes we encounter drugs in liquid form. We'll have somebody who has a syringe in their pocket that has something in it. We're sure it's some type of controlled substance, but we don't know what it is. And you can just dip this in it. We have people who will take their drugs in order to hide them from law enforcement and pour them in a soda or a drink or mix it with alcohol, which can be especially deadly as well. And just dipping it in the liquid either on the scene or back in the police department or sheriff's department will allow them to know if there's fentanyl, which can help them charge people correctly, help them protect themselves, and protect the public.
Wow, amazing information about fentanyl right here in our community. We want to say thank you so much and for how you all get right out here in the community and for informing and educating the community. This is what's happening in Russell County. And now we have caught up with Leroy Davis. He is also a retired veteran and worked with specialty court, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so tell me your reaction to what has taken place today because you work not only in specialty court but with drug court as well.
Right. So I work with three courts. I work with mental health court, veterans treatment court, and drug court. Drug court is probably the biggest one with the most people in it because fentanyl is out there dangerous. And I'm so glad that we have the gloves for the officers, that we have the gloves for Diana and them who does the urinalysis on people because you never know what they have on them. Whether they have just opened a pack of fentanyl and you touch them, then you can end up in the hospital. So everything that we can get to protect our citizens who are helping us fight the drugs, we need to get it.
Absolutely.
And that's including for me and my mentors who works in the treatment courts.
Yes.
And you know, we work. Judge Bellamy is the judge for the treatment court. So him and Judge Johnson, who is the head judge of Russell County, all the judges do a great job.
Absolutely.
But this fight that we're fighting now is going to be a never-ending fight.
Wow.
And people need to understand that just by touching this drug, you can die. You don't even have to inhale it. You can just touch it on your hand.
Just touch it. Wow.
And it gets in your system. And if you ain't got a Narcan or something, you can be gone
Wow.
and get a brand new suit. Be
Okay.
the cleanest and the quietest thing in church on
He's
Sunday.
keeping it real. He's keeping it
So-
real because we want to save lives. And that's the purpose of this prevention coalition to help bring awareness and save lives. And we have been really educated today because it's a lot that I did not know. And I know the community didn't know, but those that are on the street needs to know as well. This is what's happening in our community, not just nationally, but right here.
And families need to know that if they have a family member who is doing drugs, to be careful because they don't know who he been with or she, who they have touched, what drugs they have used, and that can kill a whole household.
Oh, wow, wow. Thank you, Leroy.
You're
Leroy,
quite
thank
welcome.
you so much. This is what's happening in Russell County. We're going to catch up with a few more. And my. We want to thank them so much for bringing all of this knowledge and information to our community with saving lives. And now we're talking to Deanna, who works with Drug Court here at Russell County, right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So, wow, this is amazing. You all were one of the recipients for the strips today. So, how resourceful this is going to be for you all?
Yes, we're very grateful for that. We are still trying to figure out exactly how it would benefit us. Um, our clients definitely. We have some clients who are still recovering and still using, and we want to keep them alive to
Yes.
actually help them. So that will help a lot. And sometimes people do bring drugs in drug court. We drug test, um, and we have had people bring drugs in court, in drug court, and it's not something that's done consciously. Obviously, it's the drugs. So we're just going to do everything we can to help.
Wow. Well, we appreciate you. I like to call them, they are our prevention heroes in our community because they are trying to bring prevention so that it wouldn't get to the point where it has gotten, where they have to come to drug court. So that's the purpose of the Prevention Coalition. And I want to thank you all because that you're part of the coalition as well.
Yes, ma'am.
So thank you. And wow, we can't thank you enough for what you all do behind the scenes for our community.
It's our pleasure. We love doing this because, just like you said, once they get to drug court, it means they already have
Yeah.
a felony or a misdemeanor and something that's going to change their life forever. And instead of filling up the jails,
Yeah.
we give them another chance to uh, fulfill their debt to society and better their life.
Wow. Give me a hug. Wow. This is what's happening in Russell County. You can't get it no better than this. They're really trying to save families. And when we have people that come to drug courts, it affects the families.
It does.
And it affects our community. And it affects our society. So thank you, Russell County Courthouse and the coalition, the Prevention Coalition team, for what you do and to bring awareness. And thank you for sharing with us on Street Talk. And now we have caught up with Russell County District Attorney Rick Chancey. And today has been an amazing day. But as we get ready to close out today's show, we have to hear from him. And I want to know his thoughts on this great prevention coalition program that I would like to call it. And I call this team our community heroes. How does it feel to be a part of a community that's coming together, bringing awareness to save lives? See, you see what a lot of us don't see until it hits the television. I put it that way.
Yeah.
But this Prevention Coalition team is trying to prevent what we see on television.
As I'm watching you and you're asking these questions, I see you all over town. And first off, I want to thank you for covering all of these things because you just bring so much life and joy to all these different things. So thanks for what you do and shedding a light on what the rest of the community is doing. So this coalition, we just had a grand jury, and I told you a little bit about grand jury. And we have 18 people 4 times a year that come in and see crimes in our community. But one of the other things they see, not just crimes, they see the effect of crime. One of the things we look at are deaths, unattended deaths in our county. And fentanyl, we're talking about drugs in today's meeting. And we've got all these new test strips coming in so we can test for fentanyl. Marijuana is a thing, and meth and cocaine and heroin, all that's been around for a long time. And it's had a certain effect on our kids and our people. But fentanyl is a whole new thing. And it's amazing how many each quarter that we bring these death cases in. They're overdoses. And usually the common denominator is fentanyl. And people ask me, well, why would you take fentanyl? Well, the thing is, you don't know you're taking. Usually you don't know you're taking fentanyl. It's being mixed with what you're getting to make it maybe more addictive. And even if you do, you may think, okay, if I use a little bit of cocaine or a little bit of meth, maybe I use the same amount of fentanyl. Well, that ain't gonna work that way. Fentanyl fixes a lot of problems permanently. And so if you're an addict or having a drug addiction and you get a hold of some fentanyl, it could fix your problem. And I'm tired of going to scenes, and I'm tired of seeing young kids, people, any age, any race, any economic status. It doesn't care. You will be dead. And it's a terrible scene to go to see a young person who's died. Right? People my age, I've lived my life, right? My years are behind me. But we go out to these kids today and we see kids hooked on drugs, and we know the next time we see them, they might not be alive anymore. They got a hold of some drugs that did a bad thing to them. So this coalition here did a small thing today, but it's a big thing. It gave us the ability to test drugs we're finding on the street and trying to find the drugs that are going to kill you. Best advice, don't do any drugs because you don't know what's in it. It's nothing good. It doesn't have a good outcome. It doesn't produce good results. It produces bad things. And I just hate going to scenes and just keep seeing our kids dying on the streets because of these drugs. So I want to thank everybody who is in here today, and you've interviewed several people. Thank you for, again, shedding light on this group because they have a heart. They have a heart for trying to protect our community. Because typically once they get to my office, I'm trying to put somebody in jail, right? I don't want to do that. I want them to be alive. I want them to have a job. I want to be happy, raise families in a safe community, in a place where we know our kids are safe. Everybody can be safe. And this team is doing everything they can to diminish drug activity in our city.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you for sharing with the community. Wow. We are very blessed here in Russell County. And I love it what they're doing, trying to save lives. Let's do our part and be a part of being the change we want to see. You've been watching Street Talk with Loretta Rose on location at Russell County Courthouse in Phoenix City. You're watching here on Beam TV.